Welcome to another FAQsday, guys. Today it's February 21st, and I'm just going to start off with some really quick and easy questions, so let's get them out of the way. The first question is, what is your hobby besides video games? Well, besides video games, I like to make short films, whatever it be, anything that has to do with film, really. Anything that has to do with music. I help friends record music videos as well as their music in general. Basically just surrounding myself in media, except, well, I don't know, I mean, I've tried writing a couple books, writing books as far as a kid is concerned, like maybe like a short story or something like that, but I've always tried to keep myself in every single category, or at least at some point. I've tried drawing, I've tried music, I've tried film, I've tried this, I've tried a lot of different things. So yep, that's pretty much what my hobbies have been, other than video games, is pretty much everything else that I can think of. Next question. The next question is, how can I play games with you online? Well, if you've been a long-time subscriber, you've probably seen my video called Game with Rage G Playthroughs. Now, I don't know if I took that video down, but what I can say is that I have an Xbox, a PS3, and 3DS. Well, pretty much, if you look me up, and Steam too. I'm not gonna tell you right now, but I'm usually on a lot. I wouldn't say like a ridiculous amount. I get outside and I have other things to do, but I am on for a frequent amount of time, sometimes during the weekend, sometimes during the weekdays. I usually retain a schedule somewhat, but if you do want to actually play with me, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out what my gamer tag is. My gamer tag is usually consistent across the boards. I can tell you that it isn't Rage G Playthroughs. That's not my gamer tag, so don't even bother. You might have seen it in a couple of my playthroughs, but like I said, if you're a long-time subscriber, you've seen that video, or hopefully you have. But yeah, if you figure out what my gamer tag is, whether by asking me in person, whether by figuring it out yourself, yeah, go ahead and send me an invite, and I'll play with you guys. Well, that is if I have the game. Anyways, the next question is, what playthroughs are coming next? I haven't really thought that far ahead. I've been focusing a lot on just playthroughs that I have in general, including playthroughs that I've completely forgotten about, like Sonic and Knuckles. Haven't made any new parts for that. Parts that I'm mostly focusing on are for my main channel, just Super Smash Bros. Let's see, what else am I doing? Spider-Man, Shattered Dimensions. I think that's really it on my channel. And then on 5th Gen, I'm doing Sonic Generations, as well as all the other parts that Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and Blade Fire 30 are both doing. So I'm keeping myself pretty busy right now. I'm trying not to think too far ahead. I am, like dabbing with a couple of different playthrough ideas. I may even have some already recorded. And when I say already recorded, I don't mean finished. I mean like I might have one part recorded just to see how it would turn out. Seeing which ones I like. Just experimenting here and there with different playthrough ideas. But for the most part, I've mainly focused on what I've been doing right now. But you guys can still enjoy those. Those are fun. Alright, for the next question, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. Someone asked me for advice the other day, and I'm going to read it to you right now. What kind of clique would you most likely consider yourself in? I ask because I want advice on that. I've recently been neglecting my previous friends because I'm afraid my new cooler ones won't approve of them. What should I do? Okay, well, first of all, let me start by saying that I don't really consider myself in different cliques. I consider myself, and really my group of friends in general, they're all different. I have pretty much, one of my friends is really cool, one of my friends is like really out there. His name's Morgan. He's War Dog on the Battlefield Bad Company 2 playthrough. and Devin on the Halo Reach playthrough. We have so much diversity, and the reason that we came to be that was because we went out of our lines, was because we went and we met other people. We really like stretched our bounds on, you know, people that we met. And like, if I had looked back way back then, I wouldn't have even thought that Morgan and Devin or any of the other friends that I have would be friends today. It's just, and when you really think about it, if your friends, if they're your cooler friends, like, they don't accept who you are and the kind of people that you hang around. If your friends don't respect your friends, your other friends that you have, they're not really truly friends. You know, your friends really have to accept you for who you are fully, and that includes who you hang out with and who you decide to associate with, because that's your choice. And your friends, they have to back you up on that choice. You know, they can't just leave you. If they do that, they're not truly friends. And I have had firsthand experience with this, with one of my best friends having a kid at, you know, such a young age. But, you know, I didn't back down. I didn't say, you know what, this is like weird because it wasn't. It was me and him as friends, and I was helping him through it. That's what friends do. If they don't accept the group of friends that you hang around besides them, they're being selfish. Not only selfish, but they're just being downright ridiculous. They're not being friends. They're not being, you know, the people that they're supposed to be. They're not on your side. You know, they take that part of you and they make it an enemy, and they make you feel like the bad guy. Well, anyway, that's all the questions I've got. So if you want to send me any advice that you need, PM me. If you want any sort of generic question that I can answer, you know, in like a minute, go ahead, post a comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Just live long and prosper, y'all.